Banaras Hindu University is probably the largest university where about 146 departments are housed within a single campus. The student strength is about 34,000 and teaching faculty about 2,500 plus. So you can imagine that, unlike many other institutions, this is a very vast institution with enormous possibilities of interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary collaborations, which are actually happening. The Institute of Science, which I actually lead, a lot of researchers interact with the Institute of Medical Sciences, which also has a very important hospital. So it's a great opportunity of learning from the hospital and also providing services to the hospital. Similarly, we have Institute of Agricultural Sciences. This Institute of Agricultural Sciences has great outreach. About a few million hectares of land is actually influenced by the varieties which they have released and the kind of microbial technologies which are being implemented there. There is actually need, and farmers are accepting those things. And so I feel that the education, I've been telling at other platforms that any educational institution has three pillars. One is creation of knowledge, second is dissemination of knowledge, and third is deployment of knowledge. Now, Banaras Hindu University has excelled in creation of knowledge as well as dissemination of knowledge. We are among the top 10 institutions of eminence recognized by Ministry of Human Resource Development, giving us some kind of vital support so that we can cross the threshold of 500 top universities in the world. On the other hand, we have been consistently rated as among the top 3 in the NIRF ranking. This shows the contribution, academic contribution in terms of the, the creation of knowledge as well as dissemination of knowledge. But I think there was not enough emphasis. Actually, there was not much of the orientation towards deployment of knowledge. I realize it's worth mentioning here that I was at CSIR for about 5 years at CSIR CMAP, and I have seen the culture of CSIR and distinguish it from that of Banaras Hindu University. In CSIR, which was actually founded for solving problems of the society, there is a lot of emphasis on focusing efforts towards utilization of knowledge for development of the technologies and also for deployment of technologies. And that is why during the time of Dr. Vishelkar, there was a lot of emphasis on filing patents, protecting intellectual property, and then developing those ideas into technologies and then covering that abyss of gap between a technology and its deployment. So it's a big journey, very challenging journey. A lot of obstacles are there, but then only those who are determined, those who have the grit, they can only follow this kind of path. The studies are, scoring marks, publishing papers. Most of us do that, and many of us do very well. But when it comes to orienting our research towards development of technology or translating some ideas which have the potential for developing into technology, then we get shaken because it's a journey which is not having a lot of rewards in the beginning. But if you think in the longer term, I remember that Dr. G. Padmanabhan, Professor G. Padmanabhan, the former director of ISC, we had invited him to CMAP. He has an outstanding record of good publications and all that. And he said that the maximum satisfaction which he derives is the work on curcumin and the artemisinin, this combination towards treatment of malaria. So something which serves the humanity, that is what gives him maximum satisfaction. So for the academicians, it is important that they should develop competence, self-confidence in terms of several technologies, some techniques. But once they have developed these command over techniques, tools and techniques, then I feel, and I have been inspiring my colleagues, that then they should take up some ideas which can address one or the other problems of the society. That is the deployment of knowledge. And I very sincerely realize that this third pillar of educational institution, deployment of knowledge, is rather weak at our institution. We do file some patents, but looking at the number of students, number of researchers, number of faculty members we have in Banaras Hindu University, the number of patents we are filing is rather poor. And if that is the situation, then the orientation towards development of the technology is even, dismal. So there are, I would not say there are not efforts. There have been efforts. There are some people who have set some examples just because of their sheer, determination. They have been able to move forward, and they are very close to deployment of the technologies, or they have almost deployed the technologies also. So there's a lot of potential. And when I was applying for this the BioNest program to BIRAC, and I was asked this question that, don't you think BHU is lagging behind? And I said, yes, I do think that we lag behind, but there is no more scope to lag further behind. And therefore, we must start this venture. And I'm sure there are a lot of very good BioNest incubators and experienced people like the SLEAM, the CCAMP. We can get their support and we can start things. And with that kind of hope, we have begun our journey. We have not yet completed 1 year, but this is, I say, is the right time for the people to join as a startup in our BioNest program. Because in a year or so, we are going to have very unique kind of facilities within one roof. We have a central discovery center, about 6-floor building. And in this 6-floor building, we are running a Sathi program. We have actually started a Sathi program, and BHU happens to be the only university which has been awarded this 125 crores for Sathi program, in which we are procuring. We have already procured many high-end, very high-end equipments, HRMS, IRMS, high resolution confocal microscopy and photoacoustic imaging system, NMR, 600 megahertz NMR, and many more are going to come. Then in addition, from the grants of the Institution of Eminence from MHRD, we are going to procure at least 300 to 400 more worth of equipments in this building itself. So that will be a place where most of the state-of-art facilities are going to be created. Now, once these facilities are created, and then it will be difficult for startups to find a place with us. It is probably the right time now that if they have some patience, gradually systems will be developing. The advantage is that all these startups, as is usually the case, will be getting the user charges of these instruments at par with the BHU fraternity. They will not be treated as outsiders. The other thing which I was mentioning is that we have all kind of disciplines in the campus, and therefore there is no dearth of mentors. And once the startups, the entrepreneurs, they join and they start interacting with the mentors, I think the mentors also will get oriented to solving the problems. At the moment, there are so many mentors, but the takers are not there. The entrepreneurs are not there who are determined to take up certain ideas. So once this program starts, I think the mentors also will become more and more enthusiastic and start helping the startups or the entrepreneurs. So I'm actually very, very hopeful, and there is almost every program which has been started by different Government of India agencies in Banaras Hindu University has eventually succeeded, and succeeded very well, and all the programs are doing very well. So I sincerely feel that this is a modest beginning we are going to make, and it's